I think the whole world needs a bit of Bali. That's what I think. And I feel honored, and I feel super grateful to feel like I've been invited here by Bali.
Yeah.
I don't know if you feel the same.
I tiptoe around this island.
Yeah.
I
so
throw a cigarette butt
man.
on the floor. In 30 years, I've never done it.
Yeah.
You know, and you do. Look, you know, if you love Bali, Bali will love you.
I feel like it's called me here, and I'm
You've had a call. You've had your Bali calling.
Yeah, man.
I do. You know, we all. You know, just to sort of. You know, you read about, you know, the Australians who are, you know, get ugly and smash up and jump on people driving by on scooters and they're drunk and stupid. And then you got, you know, some soppy Russians that are driving scooters into the, you know, you can't generalize about everyone. There's good and bad everywhere. I would just say, you know, and seeing, and I'm also not going to adhere to that, oh, I've been here 30 years and, well, Bali's not the same. Bali is fucking awesome. Yeah. And it morphs and it changed when the Dutch invaded it, the Japanese did it, you know, went through Suharto years, Sukarno years. Bali, tourism, Bali, because of its spiritual base, because of its Banjaran family and religious glue, keeps this island, you know, that's why we love it, because we still have the ceremony. And you know, and they will stick to that, and that's why, you know, every Thursday they try, you know, to making sure that we stick to cultural guidelines. But you know, anyone who's coming to Bali, I would just say this: look, you know, this incredible island. Yes, we have cheap booze, and you can smoke cigarettes in cafes and drive a scooter with really, you know, without a helmet. But you're going to get, you know, just take a breath and enjoy Bali, and just don't come here to take something off the island. Yeah. Put something back, and that's why, you know, as business community leaders here, you know, we look and watch it, you know, all kinds of people doing business here, and you think we're not the only ones watching. Yeah, for sure. You know, there's communities and elders and who watch what people are doing here, and it's not just them, but Bali itself will help support and love you if you are contributing to this island.
But if you don't in Indonesia,
then
that's
you're gone.
What I love about Indonesia.
Then you're gone.
If you fuck up here, they don't mess around. You're gone. You're out.
Gone.
And here's what I'm getting, right. I mean, the same part of your personality that made you that promoter, performer, made you really great in skateboarding.
Attention. I wanted attention.
But the flip side of that is, like, that's a gift you can use for something positive, but it's a very fine line to what, you know, it could be used for, you know, for bad things, right?
Yeah, and look, you know, and if we're trying to sort of, you know, weave a sort of, you know, something that sort of strings it all together, I was angry. I was really angry. I was angry that you know, everyone always told me I'm a loser, you're going to go nowhere, you're going to do nothing. That was a constant theme. And you know, as a sidebar, you know, when I went back, you know, this wonderful public school that I went to and that I was asked to leave, the shame of being asked to leave, and everyone with their parents, and, you know, I was that kid that no one was allowed to go. And I mean, I was really talking about, you know, what do they call them, outlaws? Yeah. I was a fucking outlaw, you know, and I couldn't really explain all the reasons why I was an outlaw, you know, because it just wasn't time to announce all that stuff. But
did you have some belief in yourself? Like, did you know that, like, you were still meant for something bigger or better?
Honestly, it's a good question. I don't think until recently.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been called, you know, the Godfather of New York and the champion of this and the this and that. Everyone keeps, you know,
the legendary Mark Baker.
I don't believe a fucking word of it. You know, I've always thought, I've always been like, if you have any idea that how on the seat of my pants, of my skinny chin, I have survived, and, you know, every day has been a, look, you know, I mean, obviously, you know, I know it sounds crazy, but, you know, even when you're sitting there and you got the, you know, the Ferraris and the Rolls Royces and the private jet and the boat, and I've had all of them, I didn't believe any of it, to be honest with you. I was like, oh, in a minute this is all going to go, and it did all the time. Yeah. So I'd make it, and then it would, you know, like skateboarding was top of the game, and then crash. Skateboarding died out of nowhere. We went from, you know, 100 miles an hour to 0. They shut the skate parks, sponsorship was shut. I was back to square one. You know, I thought I was going to milk that one for, you know, the rest of my life, and it didn't. It all ended.
Are you optimistic about, like, the future for humanity,
yeah,
or do you feel like after the last year we're all fucked? What do you think is actually going on, like, on a on a cosmic
I thought
level?
about. I thought I would be worried if I had kids.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, you could get into the whole, I mean, us humans, we are a selfish, horrible lot sometimes, a lot of the time. And, seeing what just happened, I won't even get into it with the whole Donald Trump thing, because, Trump was a partner of mine at one of my clubs in New York. He was an investor. I know Donald Trump. I know, Ivanka. I know Ivana. I know all those guys. I think I won't get into politics, but I think that what we're doing to the planet is just it's just not sustainable. You can't continue like that. You just can't. Whether and you can't. At what level you think about climate change and the damage we're doing to this planet is insane. It's just not sustainable. So at that point, what's the future?
Yeah, but what I think is beautiful out of this last year is there's a light, being shone on some of the truths that are happening in the world. Like the thing that I say is this: it's like you look back in history, and every generation has some evil assholes doing really bad shit to humanity,
and it shakes everything up, and then they find a solution to it.
Yeah, and people in this generation think that is not happening. It's like, how naive are people to think that stuff is not happening in the background? And what I think has really happened in this last year is, there's truths coming out, just the way that we're manipulated and the propaganda and.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wouldn't profess to be so knowledgeable to understand all of, or a tiny bit of it. There are some basic truths that are quite obvious. That we can't continue taking and drilling and mining and burning and at the rate that we're doing, because it's just not going to be able to. It's just not going to be able to continue like that. So we have to make some changes. There are some wonderful initiatives, some amazing people out there. There's also a lot of really bad, evil, horrible, nasty motherfuckers out there, and you have, a few that control the most. And that doesn't mean, we hate the rich people. Of course we don't hate the rich people, but there has to be some balance. How that all, it's called the big tech companies and all the monopolies and the conglomerations. I mean, how we're going to get, I think, nature has a way of coming in and just biting everybody in the ass just when you expect it least. I think this was a little warning, whether it's a COVID, a virus, it's this or that. It's just, if it's not this one, it's going to be something else, We're just fucking with nature so badly that nature's gonna, either call it quits or deliver a little,
some lessons.